LCISD, Science, Grade 8, Unit 4, Chemical Equations, 2016-2017. Use the following equation for the next three questions. 2 Mg plus O2 yields 2 MgO. Number 1, in the equation above, how many atoms are presented in the molecule of oxygen? A2, B0, C1, D3. Number 2, new substances formed during a chemical reaction are indicated F on the left side of the equation and are called products, G on the right side of the equation and are called products, H on the right side of the equation and are called reactants, J on the left side of the equation and are called reactants. Number 3, all chemical equations must be balanced. This means that the same number of atoms of each of the elements must be found in both the reactants and the products of the reaction. Which scientific law does this illustrate? A, law of conservation of mass, B, law of superposition, law of conservation of energy, and D, law of reflection. Two definitions. Reactants. Formulas written on the left side of the arrow symbol are the starting substances in a chemical reaction. Products. Formulas written on the right side of the arrow symbols are the new substances formed in a chemical reaction. Number 4, a student mixes two clear solutions. Which of the following is evidence that a chemical reaction is happening? 1, color change, 2, odor change, 3, temperature change, 4, precipitate. F, 1 and 2, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, H, 2 and 3, J, 2, 3, and 4. Testing tip. Find the true statements here, and then you'll be able to answer it here. Number 5, a student placed 2 grams of baking soda in a balloon and 100 milliliters of vinegar in an Erlenmeyer flask. After stretching the opening of the balloon across the neck of the flask, the student raised it to dump the baking soda into the flask. He immediately observed foaming bubbles in the flask, and the balloon began to expand. The student concluded that A, a physical change only was occurring, B, the baking soda and vinegar were products of a chemical reaction, C, the gas was oxygen, and D, the bubbles indicated a chemical change was occurring. Number 6, which of the following equations follow the law of conservation of mass? You have 4 equations, and I have a definition. The law of conservation of mass. Matter is not created or destroyed, only changed. Number 7, which of these equations shows rust Fe2O3 forming when oxygen O2 reacts with iron Fe? You have 4 equations. Number 8, which of the following contains the greatest number of elements? F, SH, G, CH4, H, Al, Cl3, J, HNO2. You have a table, you have the name and the formula. Water, H2O, hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, hydronium, H3O, and that's highlighted, so that's what you'll be looking at in this problem, and hydroxide, OH. How many atoms of oxygen are in hydronium? A3, B2, C1, D0. Use the following model for the next question. Number 10, which of the following is a limitation of the model above? F, the model does not show why the atoms are bonding. G, the model does not show what the products of the reaction are. H, the model does not show what the reactants of the reaction are. J, the model does not show the number of atoms involved in the reaction. Number 11, which of the following diagrams illustrates a compound? The definition of a compound: a substance composed of two or more different elements chemically combined. And you have 4 illustrations. Number 12, during an investigation, a student combined 2 clear, colorless solutions shown below. Solution 1, compound A dissolves in water at 25 degrees Celsius. Solution 2, compound B dissolves in water at 25 degrees Celsius. The student observed that the temperature changed from 25 degrees Celsius to 23 degrees Celsius when the solutions were combined, and that a white substance rapidly formed and settled to the bottom of the container. What most likely happened to produce these results? I'm going to scroll down for the answers. F, one of the original compounds came out a solution. G, the solutions reacted chemically. H, some of the water froze into ice crystals. And J, rapid evaporation of water occurred, leaving a solid. Number 13, for an investigation, a student poured a blue solution of CuSO into a beaker. The student, CuSO4, placed a shiny silver-colored strip of zinc metal in the solution and observed the changes. The observation of an investigation: you have zinc and you have a solution, CuSO4, blue solution, yields zinc in a blue solution, yields zinc in a clear solution, and the formula is ZnSO4. The student inferred that a chemical reaction occurred. What evidence supports this inference? I'm going to scroll down to the answer choices. A dark solid formed on the zinc metal. B, the zinc metal remained silver-colored and shiny. C, CuSO4 solution turned blue when the zinc metal was added. And D, none of these. Number 14, how many atoms of oxygen are in a molecule of glucose? C6H12O6. Record your answer and fill in the bubbles on your answer document. Be sure to use the correct place value. Number 15, which information could a student determine from only the chemical formula of a protein? A, the color of the protein. B, the number of molecules in each sequence that make up a protein. C, the physical arrangements of atoms in the structure of the protein. D, the number of atoms of each element in the protein. Number 16, you're looking for nitrogen equals N. Which of these formulas contain equal number of nitrogen atoms? Your choices: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Your answer choices: F, formulas 1 and 3, G, formulas 1 and 4, H, formulas 2 and 3, and J, formulas 1, 2, and 5. Number 17, the equation below represents a chemical reaction that occurs in living cells. C6H12O6 plus 6O2 yields 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus energy. How many atoms are represented in the reactants of this equation? A, 6, B, 12, C, 24, D, 36. Also, look at the notes on question 3 for the definition of reactant. Number 18. In which of these compounds are there twice as many oxygen atoms as hydrogen atoms? Also note, each answer choice has been broken down into the different elements. Please use those charts to help you determine the answer. 19. The chemical formula for sodium sulfate is Na2SO4. How many sulfur atoms are in the formula for sodium sulfate? And that sulfur equals S. A1, B2, C6, D7. Number 20. A teacher asks a student to write down the chemical equation for photosynthesis. The student's response is shown below. CO2 plus H2O with light yields C6H12O6 plus O2. The equation is not balanced correctly. Which of these is a balanced equation for photosynthesis? F, G, H, and J are all chemical equations. Again, each answer choice has been broken down into a list of the elements to help you figure this out. 21. All of the following reactions are correctly balanced except, and then you have 4 chemical equations, A, B, C, and D. Again, your teacher has broken those down into the chart you used in class. Number 22. A scientist spilled a few drops of dilute hydrochloric acid, HCl, on a lab table. For safety purposes, the scientist sprinkled some baking soda, NaHCO3, onto the spill. Which observation would provide the best evidence of a chemical reaction occurred? F, the baking soda and hydrochloric acid combined and bubbles formed. H, the baking soda absorbed the hydrochloric acid. H, some of the baking soda dissolved in the hydrochloric acid. J, the hydrochloric acid evaporated, leaving only the baking soda. Again, chemical reaction. 23. Coal contains carbon and other elements. Carbon dioxide forms when coal burns in the presence of oxygen. Which of these is the best evidence that a chemical reaction occurs when coal burns? A, the shape of the coal changes. B, oxygen is present. C, a new substance is produced. And D, coal is made up of more than one element. Number 24. Some students in a chemistry lab conducted an investigation in which they added 4 different solid substances to separate beakers of water. They stirred the mixtures for 1 minute and then recorded their observations in the table below. Substance 1, the observation, the substance dissolved. Substance 2, the substance caused bubbles to form. Substance 3, the substance sank to the bottom. And 4, the substance floated to the top. Which substance most likely caused a new substance to be formed when mixed with water? F, substance 1, G, substance 2, H, substance 3, J, substance 4. 25. Serotonin is a chemical substance that acts as a neurotransmitter. It helps relay messages in the human brain. The formula for 1 molecule of serotonin is shown below. How many atoms in all are in this molecule of serotonin? Number 26. A scientist performed 4 investigations using 8 different liquids. In each investigation, the science combined 2 of the liquids under the fume hood and recorded observations in the table below.